This season of Quantum Kickflip is brought to you by MythWorks. Original worlds, original stories. Find out more at www.myth.works.
Everybody to our post-season 3 live stream. Yay!
Yay! We did it. Season 3 in the can.
Yeah.
Do we introduce ourselves? We probably don't need to. I guess
people don't know our faces.
Yeah.
Put pop filters to names, as is the case for Robyn.
Yeah, I'm hiding.
Laena,
start us off.
Hi, I'm Laena. I played Miserée in season 3, and I GM the Golden Jungle Run.
I'm Michael. I was Flobert, Bubby, Slyman, the sentient goo boy.
And you GM'd?
Vestige.
Yeah.
From all run.
Hello, my name's Dave. I played Jake, and I GM'd both the premiere and the finale.
And he's here with a new heart.
It's true. Well, that's
they
not
put a new heart in.
Brand new one. From a pig.
He's got two now.
I got 2. Bonus heart.
Bonus
That
heart.
greedy mother.
It was never life-threatening. You just wanted a second one.
Can I just get a second one? Really use this Canadian healthcare. Abuse it.
For a backup.
You're the reason that they were trying to privatize it now.
Yeah.
Like,
People are just getting extra hearts.
yeah.
Anyways.
I'm Robyn. I played Goby, Lubgorch, and I GM'd the Quahalia run. Ooh.
And I'm Liam. I played Esther Infinitē with the jailbroken microphone, and I did the set in null run.
Yeah.
I was going to say the name, and I was like, I guess it's kind of spoilers, but also, why are you listening to this if you haven't listened to the whole season?
Spoilers for season 3, just the whole time.
Yeah. And we're doing this live on the Discord, and then we're also recording this to release on our channel at a later date. So
if you haven't finished season 3, wait for that, maybe.
yes. You'll get to listen to it later. But welcome everyone joining us on the Discord and listening in future years, eons from now. Did we pick a moderator?
This is
for
our
this?
time capsule.
Yeah.
We want to start jumping into questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
I got some in this document. First set of them here, coming from Nash Fesman Farmer. Question for all: what's your defining moment of season 3?
Make the Soliton fight the shark.
Make the Soliton fight the shark.
I can answer this one right away because it was really early on, and it was like in the very first episode when Dave had his list of, or Jacob had his list of people who he wanted to have come be in this opening run. And he goes, okay, that's everybody except for, and you gave a big sigh. And it was like, Esther, I'm like, oh, I don't know why you're sighing, but I love this. And then and then in that moment decided like, oh, she's got dirt on you. But like, I could have been like, no, Jake, I won't go on a date with you. Or like, no, Jake, I won't, you screwed me over in class or whatever. Or if you had been like, a bit, or maybe you did a big sigh because I was like, "Hi, Jake."
Yeah, really.
So many options,
but
all
like,
so good.
Just the offer of a big sigh before you came to talk to me was such a gift and set the whole trajectory of Esther's character arc. I didn't know she was gonna have that arc of like learning to not belittle people. But yeah, or even if you hadn't sighed, if you had been like, "Ooh," and now the last easy one, it would have been different, right? So that's mine.
Love it.
Yeah, because I didn't even talk that over with you. I just did it.
It was just a sigh.
Yeah.
I have 2.
Okay.
I have I always loved the moments when like we as a big team got to pull off something amazing. And the standout of that for me was when we were all battling our way through Blarts in Wem, making our way to Jake. It just felt like we all had this moment of like, here's the cool badass way we take them down. After we all had our like individual moments too, it was just so satisfying for everyone to come together. And it all culminating in Jake like playing an arcade game, but using the arcade game to like shoot the Blarts as he went. Those types of scenes are just like so satisfying to me, and that was the first one that jumped to mind. A more like personal favorite scene for me was our scene in the music room after Quahalia, when we were both like, you know, decompressing everything that had happened to us, and like I had never thought about what it felt like to be a person, and Miserée was like, oh, I think about that all the time. And it was cool to like find this like simultaneous common ground between Bubby and Miserée, but also this one thing that they both like had approached completely differently. It was a very cool scene. I liked it a lot.
And then I fucked up a bunch of drums.
And then you fucked up a bunch of drums.
I had to do Foley for that. Mashing a keyboard set to drum sounds was very fun.
Hell yeah. That's incredible.
I think for me, like, defining moment, I think when I think back on the season, I will always remember the way that you chose to end it with prom and to like wrap up the run with all of the, you know, multiversal Soliton stakes a chapter early, and then just have the finale be about like that really retroactively defined the season and the stakes of the season for me. But like Laena, a personal one, I loved the conversation that Goby and Miserée had late in the season, where Miseré's kind of confronting him about, you know, what he's committed to. And like, because it was one of the few that I like didn't go in knowing like, oh, this is exactly what I want to get out of this scene, and this is exactly what I want to articulate. And like, often it's like, well, I'll improv the conversation, but I know what point I'm trying to get across, and I know where my arc needs to end or whatever. And that one I went into not really knowing, and it felt listening back to it. I remember having a moment where I was like listening to it in the edit and being like, oh damn, that was a really like, it was a very dramatic scene. And because it starts to play as though Goby's giving all the reasons why he actually needs to leave them behind and go with Drow, and you describe Miserée just like sinking, and then it pivots and he's like, and that's why this is wrong for me. And and that was my personal favorite for me.
Yeah. For myself, I think, and we'll probably talk about it later, but the fact that I had to figure out a finale, and I was trying to like, I tried to, as best I could, to reach across all of the different runs to make that last run, like the Soliton. I was like, as soon as I heard that, I'm like, that's the finale. That's going to be right in there. And it was fun to try to grab as much as I could to pull it together at the end. And so that's, for me, that was the thing that I was very proud of like how that finale came together. And yeah.
I think when I think about like season 3, it's not like a single moment, but it's kind of the running gag of the quad announcements.
Yeah.
I feel like that was such a fun thing to like really help define a location and like build the community of the world around like we are really at this spot. And I think that stood out to me from like defining Hillview or the towers or stuff in previous seasons. Something about like being at the school and knowing that there's this kind of updated news of the school each time we come back in. I think that's something that makes season 3 stand out in a different light to me.
Because I think you started with the like, you wrote up an announcement for Robyn to do.
Yeah, it was the soda lake.
The soda lakes, yeah. And then I think I had the next GM round, and I was like, I have to write a head teacher Stanley announcement. This has to be a convention. It's so good.
I can make Robyn say whatever I want.
And I stumbled not on ham dildo, but on Miss Skakamitz.
It's because one of those is real and one of those is made up.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That was such a good convention that even when we did the Quahalia run where it started in Desneen, I did an ad break as head teacher Stanley just so I could get one in, because I was like, I don't want to miss my turn.
Yeah.
And there was some discussion on the Discord of like, well, what was the problem for Liam's run? It was the Tesseract. Like, the quad problem spilled out into be the run.
Yeah.
Hop into the next question from our doc. This one's specifically for Robyn. With QK now having grown beyond just that first game you ran to affecting people's home games, what's something from Season 1 that either haunts you or just continues to appear across QK?
I was thinking about this because I've seen the questions in advance, and like I don't know if I have anything that I spoke into being that then has affected home games that I'm like, I wish I could take that back. The thing that haunts me from Season 1 is, I don't know why, but my brain was just very... Like we hadn't been playing Slugblaster long enough, and my brain hadn't opened to the multiversal possibilities. And especially in the early versions that we played, like it was a lot of like the other dimensions are the fire one and the water one. They're like Mario levels. There weren't a lot of civilized ones, and even the ones that were civilized like didn't have big descriptions. All this to say, like I very much didn't think of any of the companies or authorities as like that they could be from other dimensions. Just I defaulted to like, well, those are all in Null. Myper and Wilkie's and all of them are like based in our reality, because they wouldn't be in the water one. Like they're in the one where businesses exist. And then as the game like developed and got finished and I saw later drafts, and I was like, oh, these are meant to be like, the authorities are meant to be extra dimensional, and some of like Slugblasting itself was meant to have started in another dimension and spilled over here. And meanwhile, I'm hinging the entire plot and twist of season 1 on like multiversal travel being discovered to an extent in Hillview. Like if I could go back and redo it, I would make that world feel bigger and not have it like feels very much like Null is the chosen dimension and everything important and interesting happens in Null. And that's like the opposite of what Null is supposed to be. So that's the thing I would like attack differently if we like remixed this or redid it in some form, which we won't, because that would be hell.
Yes, we'll never do that. We'll never run out of ideas and go back to that. No. Next question up here is for Laena. Question contains spoilers for most recent episodes. With the big finale having taken place in Operablum, what's it like returning to a home dimension you spent a lot of time getting to shape and design for QK? Is there anything about Operablum post-Season 2 you'd like to mention?
About Operablum post-Season 2?
Yeah, has anything in your mind changed in Operablum between Season 2 that maybe happened? I don't know. Yeah, that, I guess?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of Season 2, I wanted to try to leave things a little bit open-ended. And, like, basically I didn't want to, like, pigeonhole too much if we were to revisit Operablum in future seasons, which is tough when you spend a whole like 35 episode season developing Operablum. So on the one hand, it feels like there's a lot of things that are like, this is established about the world, and then there's other things that are like, it can be up to, you know, the GM's interpretation and stuff. I did find it very funny that Dave, you had us roll for what tower Jake ended up in, and we were like, it's Lansdyn, and then you were like, what's the democratic system of Lansdyn? And we were like, voting. It's a democracy. They actually vote for their leaders, unlike the other two towers. And you were like,
I went to the wrong one. I should have chosen one.
So I thought that was very funny. Also think it's cool that apparently like the M train is developed. I could really very much see, I think there's a lot of fun stuff within Operablum that we can continue to discover again. The fact that each tower does have such a strong personality at this point, I think is a very sort of rich vein. I do kind of hope that there may be future, potential stories where maybe we get to check out some of the like settlements that are being formed, because I think that was something that was referenced in the epilogue of Season 2, that they're trying not just to build the towers higher and higher, but maybe try to expand out past the towers, see if there's any other way they can make the rest of the dimension like more livable. So I think that could be a fun thing to explore one day. But yeah, discovering the like M train was really cool, and just going back to the old stomping grounds for a little bit was very nice.
I just got to call out in the chat. Someone, Ratlon has said, Operablum theme is the best theme.
I saw that, and thank you.
Popularia's right there, people. Come on.
Popularia's throwing hands.
I'm with you, Ratlon. I love I'm so proud of the Operablum theme.
I think there was a part of me that was like, I want to GM Season 2 in Operablum because that theme is such a banger theme.
I think often I go in with a vision for like, this is what I want it to sound like, and then what I come out with is like, well, that's not what I was thinking, but it's cool. And Operablum is the one time where I feel like, nope, that's what I nailed that. That's exactly what I wanted to make.
Ooh, yeah. It's so good.
This next question is for Liam. We've talked a lot about Popularian lore this season and speculating on its social structure. What's something for Esther that you wish you could have brought up but didn't get the chance to?
I I not necessarily for Esther, but in about the world building. Like I like that we've been riffing in the Discord about it over the season. But the more I think about it, I think there's not some kind of exploited underclass or some kind of like problematic structure. I think it's a post-scarcity world like Star Trek. And unlike Star Trek, where they get everyone's basic needs met and use that as the means to go explore the stars and expand humanity and learn more, they're like, oh, all of our needs are met. We just get to do vain bullshit. And like, if no one goes hungry and nobody goes houseless, then like who can throw the best party kind of is the most important thing you could do. And then I was like, well, how is it post scarcity? And the more I think, I can't dig too deep on this. This is also just my headcanon, but certain things you associate with throwing a party are natural resources. Like at one point, you and I had when you were playing my dad, Laena, you went like, oh, the vodka-filled watermelon doesn't fall very far from the vine, does it? And I think like solo cups are like a bird, like a flower, like a bright red flower that you pluck, and now you've got solo cups. Or like there are people mining fairly easily, like not too much labor because it's post scarcity, but like the all the things you need to make an amp or like a stereo. Yeah, there's like a stereo mine, and like. Yeah, that's my headcanon. Like, we don't have to put that in any future trips to Popularia, but once we started being like, yeah, how do all these people like afford to just sit around being, celebutants? And it's because they don't actually, no one has to work for food or money or medicine or homes. When you said post-scarcity world so everyone gets to just do vain bullshit, Fesman said in the chat, this is worse somehow, and has gotten 2 nod reacts.
Next question up here is for me. I've heard the others talk a bit about their home games or other games outside of QK, but I don't think I've heard about yours. What games have you run and how do they compare to running Slugblaster this season? I don't.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm interested to know what your games are too.
No, I don't really GM games. I sometimes, when I have time, play in campaigns of things, but I don't have the time.
Yeah, you're a busy boy.
Michael is so busy.
That's it. I feel like I'm still always sort of flexing those muscles for like role play and stuff by the amount of improv and stuff that I'm always doing. So other things in life, even if they're not tabletop, can bleed into what you can bring to a tabletop thing. For Dave, you've been re-listening to older episodes for undisclosed secret reasons. What's something from seasons 1 and 2 that sticks out to you compared to season 3?
I think it's just kind of figuring out this game in this world. Like we've gotten better at just picking it up and just going with it, and because we're now kind of used to the whole thing. I think that's kind of the difference. Is it's fun. We just have so much more lore that we can reference, and it's just fun to have. And we have that now in season 3, where in season 1 we're adding it. We're like putting all those pieces on, and it's fun to like as it's gone along. It's like, oh, that came back and that stayed, and that like that's unique to our version of the game, kind of a thing. So. Yeah.
I would be interested to do a re-listen because I'm sure there's also elements that we introduced that it's like, oh, we never got back to that. That didn't stick.
I just wish we could go back somehow and like not re-release the episodes, but let people who are coming to the podcast now with the popularity of Slugblaster know that those early episodes were recorded before like even the Kickstarter had finished. Yeah. Because I don't want anyone to get turned like start listening it up season 1, get 2 or 3 in and be like, first of all, it doesn't sound as polished as it does now. Yeah. And then also be like, drow and what is chat like or whatever? Do a trick. Like I just
look cool.
I wish there was a way to give that disclaimer at the beginning, but there's no way without like deleting the episodes and then putting them back up. Yeah.
Our next little batch of questions coming from DM Rawlings. What surprised you most about your character from the start of the campaign to the end? This is kind of an open to anyone question.
Yeah. I will interject while people are thinking about this to thank everyone for the questions. We really appreciate all of the questions you submitted. Also, feel free to submit stuff in the chat. We're keeping an eye on that. And disclaimer, we will not get to everything that was. We'll get to as many as we can. there are too many to do in a sitting. So we've combined some, and we may not get to all of them, but we'll try our best. And in that vein, don't feel like everyone has to weigh in on every single one. But if you got a fun, yeah.
I think for me, the biggest surprise from season 3 was how much specifically Tommy May's Zeitgeist and Marla Pronger, like that dynamic played out. And I also just love that we really focused on the crews or the
factions.
Yeah, they're all factions. Or is it?
Crowds.
Crowds. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Crowd scenes. Faction. Yeah. Anyway, I like that we worked in the Mavens and the Freaks a little more than other seasons, and I brought that into the game that I play with some other friends.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, how can you, sort of like Robyn was saying, it's like, oh, does Myper have to be from Null? How is it okay if they're operating somewhere else? What does the Freaks look like? And also, we ended up distinguishing the Hillview Freaks, who's got like names and stuff, versus the multiversal freak scene at large.
Yeah.
But yeah, specifically Marla, for our purposes for season 3, Marla and Tommy May, and how that weird triangular dynamic of frenemies played out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think what surprised me is like how much Jake's story turned into one about being bullied. Like every season, the character is addressing something that I've went through in my own life. And, like with Trev, it was kind of neurodivergency. And the first season was like kind of grief and and being poor and stuff like that. And then this third season surprised me because I didn't plan on that and it just turned into bullying. I'm like, oh yeah, I was bullied when I was growing up, and like walking through and like how I pulled through that in the end. And, it's interesting to explore that because that's such a high school kind of thing, and we haven't really explored bullying. And yeah, so that surprised me. I was not expecting that storyline.
I think for me with Bubby, I had thought that. Sorry, this eggnog is clogging me. I thought I might have like leaned more into the notion of like finding out what he is. What is Bubby? And then it very quickly became like, oh, that's not important to Bubby at all. Bubby is Bubby, and it's like, I guess I'm not gonna do anything like that. He's just in the current moment, and that's what he'll.
We did a whole run to your dimension of origin to like find out the backstory, and we found out very little.
The backstory was he liked to watch rom-coms in a movie theater.
And eat food in a food court.
Yeah. That's all that he needs. Bubby's a very id character.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know if anything surprised me about Miserée. I'm trying to think, and I'm coming up blank.
Yeah, I don't have any like specific moments for Goby. Just like I had fun figuring out his character dynamic, but I don't think it was like getting to the end and being like, whoa, I never thought it would go there. Like I went in very much wanting to play a type A obsessive nerd. I think I cited Paris from Gilmore Girls as the like character archetype I wanted to go for, of just like someone who's like I have to be the objective best at everything, and I need to get the highest grade in everything. And now that thing is Slugblaster. And so like it makes sense that his arc was learning to let go of that a little bit. So that didn't necessarily surprise me. Also wasn't necessarily the plan. It just like it developed naturally, and I'm happy with how it went.
I think there's like a difference between like surprise and discovery. Like I think there's a lot that we don't know about our characters, and that's the point. And going through like, oh yeah, of course that's true about my character. So I think that's maybe where I'm at with Miserée, is like there's plenty that I think I discovered about Miserée, but I don't know if any of it was like a big surprise. Sometimes they are, but I don't know. There's kind of a distinction in my head, I guess.
Also, just being a shorter season, I think we all consciously like, well, don't rip the scab off too far because we don't have time for it to like, we only delve a little bit in,
Zooming out a little from characters, what's something you wanted to do in the campaign that you couldn't fit in?
I have one for Goby specifically. It's not that I didn't fit it in, but it's that I wanted to do it more and I kept forgetting about it. I'm going to pull up my little document for it, though, which was just that I made a list of colors that like Goby glows different colors based on emotion. And the idea was like maybe in Desneen, like either the water or their eyesight, like this isn't visible to Desninians, but here in Null, like this glow is super obvious and it gives away when he's lying or scared or whatever. But also and I just wanted to keep the colors consistent of like, he's always going to turn one color when he's lying and he's always going to turn one color when he's scared. And then I just kept forgetting to like do that in those. I would describe how he's feeling and then forgot to be like, oh, and he's purple. Shit. And I worked it in like enough that it was technically in there, but also I if I could go back and do it again, that's the thing I would hammer more because I think it's a fun little Easter egg. Mm-hmm. I'll post the list in the partiers thread later if people want to know what the colors are.
Not so much if we had more episodes, this is something I would want to do. I think I'm pretty happy with like Miserée's arc overall, but if we had like 6 more episodes or something, she got halfway through her angst track.
Yeah.
Where she was trying to figure out how to make people like her. And I don't think I got quite far enough to the point that like what Esther was trying to impart about be genuine, be yourself. I think there's like maybe some ways she discovered that through her friendships, but it wasn't as deeply explored.
Or explicit.
Yeah, exactly. So like given more time, I think I would have wanted to just finish up that angst track and have it culminate in Miserée having a stronger sense of who she is, being more self-assured, coming to terms with, you know, who she is as a void fragment, who she can't be, like, because she can't be human. And I think that's kind of a part of it, is that she never quite fits in. So finding how she fits and how she comes to accept herself and having that culminate in people accepting her, or the right people accepting her, like a little bit of that flavor with like the conversation with Jake and Shelley, that like the right people will stand by you kind of thing. Yeah. I
just wanted to do more investigative journalist stuff, but I got to do the one with the Soliton, and that's like, yeah, that's her bit, and that's her episode. Great. But like if it had gone on longer, I would have liked to have seen like what does the video, you know, like a Spike Jonze type, like the videographer of skateboard culture, the role they play in a culture like skateboarding. Or maybe that's how she gets back to going to Popularia, or just like something to do with the plot is, you know, she finds the smoking gun that blows this finale plot wide open. But as it stood, she got to do the one thing, was like, this is what I do. And then she had like a personal arc with her friends, and that was great. And I'm happy with that. But yeah, if I got to do more, it'd be sleuthing.
Yeah.
I was pretty happy with Jake's story. Like, I feel like it was nice and complete. The only thing I wish I could have gotten to Plane Haunt, which is the ability to have two of you. Because Nick was such a fun version of that in season 1, and it would have been fun to like just it's that game, right? Like it's that fun little bit. But that's about it. I was very happy otherwise.
I'm just getting caught up on the chat, and DM Rawlings said, hang on, Scott Parzival was a reference to a mathematical theory. No one told me this. I named him, and no one told me this.
Yeah, I was about to be like, hang on, is Robyn's naming game like more than I realized? Like,
no, I think I just stumbled on a combination of syllables that happens to
wow.
be a math theory, a math thing. I think it's been too long. I don't actually know for sure.
This is also, for some reason in my mind, it was always not Parzival, but Parsible.
I think it's flipped around in season 1, like going between Parzival and Parsible.
The V and the B and the S and the Z, like sometimes it's Parzival and sometimes it's Parzival. It like no one knows how the fuck this name is said.
Ironically, the name is not Parsible. The hyper-specific answer for me on this one is I wanted to do more knockoff stores in the mall.
No.
But the mall already ran so long. There was like a throwaway line where I listed a Build-A-Boar, and I just want to know more about that world, where it's instead of bears, it's swine. Do we want to hop on to the next question?
Yeah.
How was running the campaign without strong family connections? Part of me wanted to have a principal talk to Miserée's Void Daddy at some point, because that sounds like a hilarious scene setup. Any suggestions for others who want to run something similar?
I think, can I answer this? I think it goes back to what I said about the crowds. You can use the crowds to have influence, because like the only bigger influence on a teenager's life than their parents is their peers.
Yeah.
And so we sort of got around that by having the crowds be the forces of pressure.
I think Rawlings mentioned that in the chat too, and yeah, absolutely right. Yeah.
I don't know that we went in with that intent of like, oh, this is going to solve the problem of not having our family. Like, I think we were just like, they'll call our parents on the phone, or maybe our parents will come in for a parent-teacher thing or whatever. We'll figure it out. And I think the crowds was more just like looking at the list of authorities and being like, oh, we've kind of seen a lot of Shimmer in a previous season. We've seen a lot of the Arborists. What haven't we seen? Oh, we could focus more on the crowds and they could be the other students. And weirdly, like those two elements, like one solved the problem of the other. I don't think that was the intent, but it worked really well.
It did.
So I recommend it for everyone else to.
In previous seasons, we've like gone and figured out like, oh, who is playing whose family members and sort of setting that up. Because of the way we were doing the rotating GMing, and like each of us also defined NPCs in the different groups, it kind of became, oh, I take some ownership over the NPCs I designed.
Yeah.
And we just started playing those, and I think that took up the space that otherwise would have been the interactions with other players as family.
I think you were also the only one who voiced the NPCs you designed.
Oh, was I?
Yeah, you voiced Wilborth and Grayleen. Liam designed Marla and TMZ, and I voiced them. I designed Aurora. I don't know if that counts. Sig and Flezzy, and Liam voiced them, right? Yeah. You voiced the normies that Dave designed. Yeah. The heads weren't around as much. Rhea and Connie, I guess we were,
Because I think what we did...
yeah, that was just you, fam.
That's so funny. I'm sorry.
If I'm remembering correctly, we each kind of designed the NPCs that kind of like... We're like, well, if we were in one of the crowds, what would, like, I would kind of be with the smarts and you would be with the freaks and you would be with the normies. And then we designed our own crowd. So like I designed the smarts and you designed the normies. Yeah. And then when we were choosing who to voice, we were like, well, I'm doing kind of a Jake specific run. So I'll voice the normies, because like if they're going to come up prominently in a run, it'll probably be on the Jake run, which I'm GMing. And then Laena will do the Mavens, because that they'll be relevant to the Liam run, which they're GMing. But then yours weirdly were relevant on like the run where Bubby was gone.
Yep.
So you did the Bubby NPCs more.
No, Michael did it wrong. Okay.
No, like it worked out perfectly.
Can you tell he doesn't GM?
No, it was great. I loved Grayleen, obviously.
Yeah.
The one that I was not prepared to play.
Even though you set them up.
I was just like referring to them. Like it was like, you might have to talk to them. Like I didn't expect them to come back over and over.
And in the early seasons, I was like, I want Miserée to have a crush on someone who isn't in the crew, because I think that'll create a fun love triangle situation. Oh, we just had this chat with Grayleen. Done. I'm picking them.
I think also by including the crowds, it made it feel like a story about a school.
Yes.
Like it's much more than season one, because season one was all about the Slugblaster and all the fun out there. But this one was about school, and
Yeah.
I think this next question kind of piggybacks off this a little bit. Who was your favorite secondary role to play?
Shelly. 100%. Like that developed into something that I wasn't expecting, and I'm thrilled that I got to be a part of it.
Yeah. Marla. 100% Marla. I absolutely loved the game with Marla and Esther, where they just kept like talking shit to each other, kind of impotently. I really love the scene in Desneen where I don't even remember. I think I was saying something like, "You're gonna have to eat your words," and you're like, "Ooh, yum yum! I love eating my own words." And I was like, "Yum yum, eat up!" And it's like, what are we saying at this point?
Flashback to season one, and they're like, "Your social standing will be greatly diminished."
Getting to be Flezzy and Sig, mostly because as I was planning that run, I just had to populate them. Like, who have we seen? Who do I want to add? And kind of then some people kind of got cut. Yeah. And then deciding, that Sig was a really bad Emo Phillips impression.
Pretty good Emo Phillips impression.
And then Flezzy was just doing a singing talk thing, and then Robyn adds all the stuff afterwards.
I'm not doing it for this.
That's
I'm
fair.
done.
But yeah, that sounded great, especially the ad read. Like the ad
Yeah.
read where I read
Yes.
all the legends. I like showed my fiance that I was like, you gotta hear what Robyn did to my dumb thing that I was alone in my room doing one night. Just like,
Yeah.
Oh my god. Fesman says Shelley is the Brabley of season 3.
The highest honor you can afford to an NPC.
To be the Bradley of the season.
I don't know why in
Who was
season
the
2.
Bradley of season 1?
Juniper.
boy. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably Juniper.
In terms of like favorite, ancillary NPC, like it's
Yeah.
I don't know which one I was. I was either Rhea or Connie.
You were, oh god, Rhea.
Yeah, Rhea. And
Yes.
then also those Opera Ablon cops for that one scene. When I was just like, I gotta figure out how to land this, and I wrote out their little speech. And
For Jake and Miserée. Did y'all hear it? I was very proud of my stupid ad read as the Sword Sliders, where I said Craig from Canberra, Australia, acronyms to communism scary, or anagrams.
what?
Really makes you think.
I liked my turn as Todd.
Does anyone remember Todd? No, Todd.
I remember.
Todd!
Was it literally that one line?
People were calling for other random students, and I just went, I'm Todd, I am also here. Gag answer. I think it became Graylead. Graylead, like the notion of just like listing artistic mediums in the middle of things it was a fun game to play.
yeah.
Everyone's talking about Brabley in the chat, and it makes me happy.
There's a Brabley Award now, apparently.
Oh, this is another one for the whole group. How was running a game shortly after having a little baby join the family?
Liam, you want to take this?
Yeah.
It was it went smoother than anticipated.
Yes.
I think there was never it was never like QK is over after season 2 because we're having this baby and so it's done. But it was very much like, hey, we need to take a big step back and prioritize this, and then we need to like see what we can handle. And this season was very much a tentative we're gonna try out a shorter season with a very specific rotating GM gimmick, and everyone does one run. And like, if we can handle that, great. And if it blows up in our faces, then maybe we never release it. Who knows? And yeah, it has been very manageable. I think we've had a lot of help from your family. Your mom specifically has been huge, and we found an incredible day home that will take him at all hours, which is great because we keep the weirdest hours as performers and music teachers and podcasters. It's like we need childcare at all the times the daycares aren't open. But yeah, it's been good. He's good to run voices past when you're driving him to day home.
Yes, he really helped me figure out Miserée's voice, and
Yeah.
I'm very grateful for that. Our
Goby was originally going to sound something like this, but it wasn't sustainable.
our other baby, our fur baby, was maybe more of a nuisance, at least during recordings. During
Yes.
recordings, we could just take our kiddo to grandma's house and it was all good. But I've had to cut chunks of the audio out where we hear Ruby like whining or pawing at the door, and it's like, come on, man.
She's fine for 8 hours if we go to work because she just vibes. But
But if we
we're
all
in
go
the
into
house,
the
she's like, "Pay
basement for
attention to
1
me."
hour, she's a mess.
Next question from person who happens to exist. Season 3's pitch left the door open to all sorts of character concepts, which definitely shows in the season's cast. But before our current crew was settled on, what are some player character concepts that didn't make it to the table?
I have one right off the bat.
Yeah.
I was either going to play Goby or Theta 7, who is briefly referenced in a couple of scenes as a member of the Smarts. The idea was a Quahalian fourth dimensional being who, like, in Quahalia, like, you live outside of time and don't experience time in the same way, but has been sent to this boarding school in Null and so has been, like, trapped in an orb. His idea was like a glowing Mobius strip inside a glass orb carried by a drone. Robot companion was the drone, that was the device, and just like hates that they have to experience linear time as like, this sucks, everything takes so long. Ultimately, I couldn't wrap my head around how to do, because I was like, if they experience time non-linearly, wouldn't they, like, if they go through any growth in this time, wouldn't they have already experienced the end product of that growth? Like, after they get out of this orb, they've already experienced what that's like. It's like, I can't wrap my head around this. This is too hard. I'm gonna be a fish man.
Better NPC fit for sure. Yeah. I was very close to playing a Popularian as well. I had this like sort of very like chill sort of Popularian character who was sent to Bright Academy because their parents were very worried about the fact that they had no social media presence. Which is a huge problem in Popularian. And this character's like, yeah, I don't know, just like live, laugh, love. It's all good. I'm just like living in the moment, taking things as they come, and just like being present, you know. And they're like, yeah, but you have posted none of that to Instagram, so and you live in Popularia. This is a problem.
Then I think everyone else pretty much had their characters.
Yeah, because we got the
set.
We got the
we got our playbooks
first draft. Well, yeah, we figure out playbooks. We just tend to divide those up by the 5 of us. And then for the signatures, when Mikey gave us the playtest stuff, it really, I was like, ooh, I want to do jailbroken Microphone, and then worked backwards from that. So there was never really a...
Same. I saw slime form and it's like, I'm doing that. I don't know what the slime is, but it'll be that.
You had a bunch of alternate, like, you could come from Vestige and he'd be like toxic slime, or you could be
Calorium lava guy, Desnine algae guy,
Golden Jungle tree sap
guy. And then the best one, Penis Spartian extra virgin olive oil boy.
Right, best one.
The extra virgin.
His goal is to find love because he's extra virgin.
Yeah. He's gonna get a kiss and lose his extra virginity.
Oh, it's so good.
It's just a kiss, so he still has his regular virginity.
Yeah,
and his extra virginity.
It's like a super slam.
Super slam, yeah.
He was the extra. We've probably done this exact same joke and had this exact same reaction in the session 0, but it's been months and I don't remember.
Oh my god!
And then because I knew that I was going to be kind of the linchpin, I knew I was going to be Jake or like just the one regular kid.
We need one regular guy.
Yeah, to be the kind of point of view character, sort of, at least at the start. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was a good call, I think.
A few questions here from Aratlon. Which characters from season 1 and 2 would your current character get along with best and worst?
I was gonna say Angus and Theta 7 would get along real well. They'd be like, oh, everything takes so long.
Yeah. Goby would get along great with Juniper.
Yes.
And
can we just hear a little snippet of those two
No.
together right now?
The season's over. I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to think of like who wouldn't Goby get along with. And I feel like it's got to be someone super like chill and go with the flow. Maybe Elliot.
Sure.
Have a hard time with. I think. Maeve would bully Goby.
Yeah, I think Esther would make the Glitch Girl documentary.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bubby's just kind of so affable. I don't think he'd get along poorly with anyone.
Yeah.
I think he'd just be too oblivious to if it wasn't going well.
I think the scene with Sam and Doug at the prom shows that, like, if you had a slightly more malicious, like, bully, that would go, like, because Bubby would just, like, go along with it and, like, not realize he was being bullied. So I feel like Scott Parsival would be a bad
Bubby like a full Cartman and Butters situation.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Poor Bubby.
Oh, Bubby.
I mean, Scott had some growth by the end of season 1, I guess. Maybe he'd be fine.
Yeah.
Like, I guess Jake would probably just get along with Chester, because it's like, Chester is like another, like, because I designed all the normies around these guys I knew in Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
And then I just like, oh yeah, they're just good-hearted, like, farm boys kind of a thing. And like, yeah, they do dumb stuff all the time.
Chester would fit right in.
And
with
Chester
that.
would fit right in with all of that. So I think that but the person character he gets along the worst with, I suppose Esther. We got to experience it.
God damn.
We got it.
Yeah.
We got it.
Yeah.
We saw that one.
Which NPC would you most or least want to live with in real life?
Oh God. I would probably get exhausted living with a Marla type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, DMZ seemed cool. Tommy May seemed cool.
Yeah.
To the
Yeah,
point where
yeah.
I brought them into the other game I play.
Oh hell yeah! Incredible.
I'm too enamored with this character.
I feel like Grayleen seems exhausting.
Yeah.
I feel like I've lived with people somewhat like Grayleen.
now a studio.
Oh God, constant remodeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a question who we wouldn't or would.
Both.
Oh, okay.
I do also feel like there is an element of like, oh, you're making me choose a teenager I have to live with.
Yeah, all of them are bad.
I'm sure there are people I would vibe with and people I would be like, oh, you're a lot. But I think also just by virtue of the fact that the vast majority of the characters are like 16 to 18 is like, ooh, that becomes...
And are there staff members? Or are they like Mr. Bob keeps
There
a
was
tight
brief-
ship? You
there-
know?
I eventually described Lake's mom as looking like Molly Shannon.
Yeah.
And that's why her name was Molly. But for a brief period, I was like, it's Christina Hendricks.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's too hot. So I'd like to live with the version of Lake's mom that's Christina Hendricks.
That divorced teacher. Oh yeah.
Mrs. Haversham.
Miss
slash
Hannigan,
Hannigan.
Mrs.
Yeah.
Haversham.
I'm great second husband material, I think. So. You had a shitty
You'll
husband.
cure that marital sickness.
Yeah.
You've been hitting the gym lately.
I know, I have been.
Yes.
That post-surgery rehab is what you're talking about?
That's right.
I guess that does count, yeah.
That marital sickness, that is like,
God.
that's my high watermark of a joke.
That is your standout moment of season 3.
Yeah, that's
right. Simply the phrase marital sickness.
Yeah, because that was Michael, right? That came up with that. Like that,
Was there anything was there anything that we, the listeners, all missed in season 3 that you, the podcasters, hope we would pick up on?
I didn't have anything, because I was thinking about this question too. I didn't have anything that I was like, the listeners didn't get that or whatever. The thing that the podcaster, missed that then later was like, damn, was the thing in the mall run that you, like the theater showing the rom-coms. The entire time playing out that scene, I was kind of like, okay, where's this going? Is there going to be like an encounter in here? Are we going to or am I going to learn a critical piece of information about where Bubby is? And then it just kind of played out and I was like, oh no, there's just this nice theater playing rom-coms on a loop. And I was like, oh, it's like a very melancholy moment. But like, I felt like I was missing, like, what were we doing here? Like, I felt like I played the game wrong or something. And then it was when you re-listened to it and you were like, oh, I just realized that that's in there because like that kind of explains why Bubby is such a romantic, is because this one movie. And I was like, oh, of course that's what you were fucking doing. How did I not understand that was like a beautiful little piece of like environmental storytelling? And I just like fully went over my head. Yeah. Felt
Sorry,
like an
I
idiot.
should have put an audio log in there.
Yeah.
You find a small tape recorder. Goodness, I can't wait to watch that movie again.
Yeah.
It really defines me as a person.
We're playing a lot of Metroid Prime Beyond right now, and I want to be able to scan it. Like, I gotta be, if it doesn't light up green in my scanner, I don't register that it's part of the
Where are
game.
my codex files from this mall?
Yeah.
Did anyone else have thoughts on that particular
No,
question?
I didn't.
It's such a small thing, but like a missed opportunity in hindsight was the cafeteria scene in the Tesseracnids. And you button mashed. I don't even think this is necessarily answering the question, but you button mashed your ray gun to be more effective against the Tesseracnids. You button mashed a photonic jacket ability.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, as photonic jacket abilities, Aurora. You could have shone your ray gun or like shot it through Aurora,
sure.
and I feel like that would have been such a cool like. I was like, listening back, I was like, dang it.
And it's always the tricky thing about doing things more or less in one take. Like we try not
Yeah.
to go back and rewrite it. Where like I can't think of any examples, but there's been times where I'm like, oh, I really wish. Honestly, I wish we did a second take of the group Esther on the multiverse call scene.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wish we had, because
Oh.
it was a fun scene. I'm really happy with how it played out, but that was one take and we moved on. And I think I wish we had taken a beat to like actually give everyone a chance to assign what alternate version Esther they like wanted to be, so they could play up the jokes. Because like,
Yeah.
We kind of found the game of Robot Esther, Cowboy Esther partway through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After the first few hadn't really been defined.
but
Yeah.
even the mustache one, I was just trying to go for like a Star Trek parallel.
Evil. Yeah.
Parallel dimension thing where they've all got goatees, and then I'm like halfway through, I'm like, oh my god, did I just shame a woman driving a mustache? No, that's not what I wanted to do. No.
That's just supposed to be the evil one. That's all.
Yeah.
So
we didn't mention the fact that it's a Snidely Whiplash mustache.
Yeah.
and I don't even think Robyn, you got like, I don't think you were ever a specific Esther. You were just another Esther.
I think it sounds like, I can't remember for sure, but it sounds like on the recording, you call for Robot Esther, I start to go, yes, and then...
And then I just said beep boop.
Yeah, and you're like, beep,
Oh, no,
boop.
Dave
Everyone
goes-
else has claimed an Esther, and it seems like none of them know how to direct this Esther to where she needs to go. And I was like, what other Esthers are there that could direct this Esther? We've had a Cowboy Esther, Robot Esther, I'll be Robot Esther, but I also did not put on a Robot Esther voice at all, and also not a very good Esther voice in general. I could have nailed that voice better. So
But that's also the fun of it. Like maybe it would have been a little tedious and, you know, self-congratulatory if we had like planned it out a little. So like the fact that it's on the fly probably is more fun and organic in the long run.
Next pair of questions are coming from Zen Chun.
Chun.
Chun Chun?
Right?
Sorry.
Correct us if we're wrong in the chat, but I think that's, yeah.
Chun Chun?
Chun with a Z, Chun with a C.
My bad. I didn't know. The Fiasco one-shot is probably my favorite Fiasco AP, and the D&D is Weird Gravity is probably the second diegetic D&D is PC's AP I've seen, and thus also love. Is there any interest in QK APing stuff that isn't Slugblaster?
Sorry, there's been another correction in the chat. Dr. Chun Chun.
Ah,
Anyway.
apologies, Your Honor.
Right, I forgot. You got,
Got your
congratulations.
doctorate.
Holy shit, yeah. That came up in the heart thread the other day.
Yeah.
I think this is a question, like a genuine conversation we had at the end of season 1, and we like put out a Google form poll
Yes.
to listeners we had at the time, which was way fewer than we have now because the game hadn't blown up. Quinn's Quest hadn't happened yet.
The game hadn't happened yet.
So it was mostly just like friends of ours that we sent it out to. But genuinely, it was like, okay, we finished season 1. We were all excited to do more. And it was like, can we change, like, or should we change what game we're playing? Like, should it be a new game every season, or should it always be Slugblaster? Can we change the GM? Or like, it was very much like, we don't know what, we know that this is working. We all really like it. We don't know what elements are necessary for it to work and what things can change. So there's a lot of questions like, you know, do you feel strongly that the GM should always be Robyn, or do you feel strongly that the GM should rotate, or do you feel strongly that the game should always be Slugblaster? And I think what we ultimately landed on, both from the feedback from that poll and just like our own gut feelings, was like, I think the show is inherently a Slugblaster actual play. The GM can rotate, and ultimately that ended up being a great call, I think. It was even in the chat earlier, I was reading through, it's like, oh, people are saying that swapping out the GM was a good thing. Yay! People liked it.
So happy.
But I think at least up until this point, it's been very much like, I love the idea of playing one-shots of things like Fiasco, or if you're on the Patreon, you may have heard our Scene Thieves one-shot.
Yeah.
But I think the main seasons will likely always be Slugblaster.
I'm always a fan of. I've heard this done on a few other actual podcasts before. Of like, if you can find a reason to use a one shot for a specific thing, like if suddenly there were a particular event that it makes more sense to play a different one off as the main characters in the middle of a Slugblaster run. I like that of like, you change to a different mechanic set just because it suits the run or the adventure better, and then you go back to Slugblaster. It's a thing that tickles my brain to be like, how can I take a character that's already built with abilities and translate those into another system? Becomes a very fun game of like recontextualizing stuff. So we haven't done it yet, but I think that has legs of like, if it comes up, like, don't try to force it, but that's an idea that makes me go, ooh.
That is exciting, yeah.
But as far as doing future, like further one shots in other systems, there might be something coming down the pipeline on that front that we'll maybe talk about a little later in the stream, maybe. But yes, I would say it's fair to say there is interest in doing more stuff like the Fiasco.
Yes.
Yeah, well, and I've seen suggestions for other games. And
Yeah.
So like, I forget what the
Void Radio one.
Yeah,
that was actually part of this question. The same person that asked this question.
and
suggested
having Chester do that, and I'm like, that's really interesting. I would have to like look at the game and like see if it's like, is this possible? Does this make sense? But I love stuff like that. But
Yeah.
There's been talk in TTRPG communities about romance, and I've seen QK do it with PCs every season using different playbooks. Do you have any advice on facilitating romance in games? Setting up, implying, coordinating scenes, safety, etc.?
Well, according to a chart on the Discord the other day, apparently I'm the expert on this because I have kissed the most players.
with NPCs, I don't think it's the same unless it's PC on PC.
That's fair, yeah. But I actually don't have any contribution to this conversation. So.
I feel like a lot of times when like we've come up on these things, there's been some discussion around the table, at least like out of character, about like, hey, is this something we want to play with? Is this a relationship dynamic that we think would be interesting? And very much like with when romance is portrayed on stage and things like that, like having consent and consideration for those things is super important in making sure that it's fun to play out in the moment, and then it's also safe for the people who are performing beyond the bounds of those characters as well.
It just comes down to trusting the people that you're playing the game with or recording the podcast with. We've all been doing art together for like a decade, so I'm not worried like Laena's gonna hurt my feelings or push a button.
Yeah.
And like obviously the consent checklists and talking to each other in a session 0 is important, but also just I'm not worried anyone's going to do something out of pocket, or even if they do, that we can't then have a mature conversation about, hey Dave, you kind of crossed the line there. Can we just watch that next time, please? Yes, of course. You're not gonna like run away all pissed off and be like, you guys are trying to control what my character does and tell me what, but you guys like, it's just we're all mature adults, and so find people to play with that you have that level of friendly trust with.
Yeah.
Trust is important. And like
Trust,
knowing that trust is always fluid as well in that. So like even if you start having conversations about something where you want to explore romance with characters, that can always change, and like you can pivot, and just ensuring that you're open with whoever you're collaborating with about where everyone is at in the moment. Yeah.
I think a big thing for me, because like I've been in theater spaces for a long time, and I've like done some like workshops in a theater context about intimacy, and like a bunch of us do improv, right? And have explored the ideas of like romance in an improv setting. And something that really like sticks with me when it comes to consent that I think is very much implied in our group is like, when you say no, then it's chill. Like, no is not, it's not a big deal to say no, and it's not a big deal to receive a no. The moment that you make it a big deal, that's when things can start to get sticky. But if you're like, hey, that's a line too far, I don't want to do that, and the other person's like, cool, let's retake that scene. That's all it needs to be.
Yeah, it's a much more eloquent way of saying what I was trying to articulate with being like, no, but fuck you. Like,
yeah, exactly. I think, we all kind of know that, and just like absolutely reiterating.
Don't take it to heart. Yeah.
Exactly. It's not personal.
Has anyone ever been to the general RD&D subreddit? It is mostly people talking about how someone at the table was weird socially. How do I deal with the fact that this one person is behaving like a lunatic? And it's like, you'd really think that the D&D subreddit would be like rules, like how does dashing work in the context of a chase? Did anyone, when you ran this encounter out of the chapter 4 of this book, did you do it? It's all questions of people like asking how to navigate social dynamics. It's a drag.
Next question up here is from Dr. Squid. I assume this isn't a real doctorate. I don't know.
No, you got it.
Congratulations.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah, doctor.
Doctor.
Different from doctor.
Doctor from Cool School.
From the Christopher Walken Institute.
Dr. Squid. Having now done QK for, and sorry if the number feels weird, just over 4.5 years, are there any lessons or takeaways you have about collaborative storytelling? Right. I'm sorry. I'm just going to read this all over.
Apologies to Dr. Squid.
Having done QK for just over 4.5 years, are there any lessons or takeaways you have about collaborative storytelling, writing and improv, especially with a consistent group of people?
Even with not just 4 years of experience, but like I said, over a decade of experience, you always have to make sure you're not just sharing the spotlight, but thinking about how you can pass the spotlight. Like not being like, I did my thing and I know enough to shut up now, but to be like, and I know enough to tee up Robyn. That's really, it's about sharing and thinking about it holistically and having a little bit of ego death. Like it's not about your funny one bit. It's about everyone.
It's not about making you look good. It's about making everyone else look good, because by that extension, they're all going to make you look amazing. Yeah.
Holistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it pretty much sums it up. I can't think of anything more that like, and I think that is a big difference. Like people have asked about like, what's the difference between, playing at your home game and playing for a podcast? And I feel like that is a big part of the difference is like, oh, at a home game, I might come in with like, I have my character thing that I want to do. And I've like planned out what my bit is. And in the performances, it's more like, oh, how can I serve everyone else's story? And like, I feel like especially this season, I very much like consciously didn't dive too deep with Goby because I knew it was a shorter season, but also it's like, I kind of want to just like be here to support other people's.
Man, and he's a character that breathes underwater.
Yeah.
So like...
Yeah, he's meant for diving deep.
Yeah.
I guess there maybe is a distinction then between doing this for a podcast and doing this at a home game.
Yeah.
I think I'm a little more selfish in a home RPG game because my performer brain isn't on. Like I want to make a good product for all of you.
Yeah.
And doing that is making sure all my colleagues look good. Whereas like if we're all at Dave's house playing D&D, drinking beers, like I might be a little shit. I might be a little greedy. Because because now the audience is the rest of the table. So I'm like, I want you all to see how clever I came up with this clever bit and I'm excited for all my friends to see it. I'm performing for you. I'm not performing with you for them. You know? That's a really good way to put it.
Yeah.
I want all of you to know how brilliant these people are.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's just us, then I want them to know how brilliant I am.
Next question here from Mana. Since y'all are also a sketch group, is there something you learned from sketch comedy that you took into Quantum Kickflip? And is there something you learned from Quantum Kickflip that you took into sketch comedy? I feel like a lot of, particular to our group, the debutantes, I feel like a lot of that comes through in the bits of writing that GMs do.
Oh yeah.
I think there's a certain wordiness to a lot of to a number of Deb sketches that is still reflected in the way that we write passages and also find ways to weave jokes into that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't, not to overspeak for someone else, but I feel like Robyn, you also use the exercise of like creating lists of things from the sketch comedy riffing perspective. Like you did so much with Maveline and like the candies and stuff and different things. You use those sort of like, how much idea generation can I do to just have a bunch at the ready to then pull out of your pocket?
Yeah, that's an exercise we've done a lot. Like a thing that you ran with us as like an exercise in early Debs meetings was like, oh, we're gonna riff on this idea and like how many absurd and specific examples of this trope can we come up with, or like here's the writing prompt and we're gonna like come up with as many ideas. And that's definitely something that I carry into GMing of like, okay, I need this. We're going to Popularia. I'm going to come up with as many silly Popularian names as I can, or as many silly Wilkie's candies, or whatever it may be. But like, I love a list. I love having a big silly list.
I think that we are very collaborative in our world building and storytelling in a way that I think a lot of RPG tables may not be.
Yeah,
I think there are a lot of tables where it's very much up to the GM to determine certain things. And the players are like, my job is to be my character in this world. My job isn't to help forge this world. But I think that we are very collaborative in that, and we'll often have moments where like around the table, let's all name a thing that is in this world. And I think a lot of that does come from our like riffing process as sketch writers and sketch comedians.
Well, and I think this is maybe drawing more from improv than sketch, which is more the rest of you than me. But like you've often talked about like, oh, there's a thing where like, especially you guys do a D&D improv show, And it's like, yeah, we all come in with preconceived characters and notions, but also nothing is true until it's said on stage. And once it's said on stage, that is true. And our job is not to question it, or like our job is to justify it.
Yeah. support it.
And I feel like that is a different approach that maybe this is more answering the previous question of like, how, what's ways that you, or advice to people playing at the table together is like, I like that better than coming into a world where like the GM is the authority and what they say is law and everyone else is just in the world. I love the idea of like, oh, as soon as you say something, it's true, and we'll all help you justify why that's true. Especially because sometimes you get a wild card at the table who says insane things, and then the rest of the table has to be like, yep. And this is why that makes perfect sense, actually. And it's fun.
Yeah.
Like, I think Liam really did a really good job with that, with the whole popularity and like culture.
Yeah.
Like, because we haven't sat down and figured out what popularity is. And Liam just introduced stuff and just like, yep, that bit.
Got it, yeah.
Now it's a part of lore now. And I think there is a strength of like letting your players just like, you're allowed to create. You know.
Yes, yeah. Second favorite NPC I played was Esther's dad.
These next 4 questions are all sort of around the topic of the rotating GM setup.
Yeah.
First couple, again, from DM Rawlings. How was the entire rotating GM thing? I thought y'all made it work real well, but any interesting stuff from behind the scenes?
I think it was a rousing success. I think we were very nervous going into it about how this would work and whether it would work, and I think it paid huge dividends.
I think it worked out very well that it was a bit of a shorter season.
Yes.
I wonder if we would have started to feel more of the constraints if we had to do multiple cycles of trading off and stuff.
Yeah.
This felt like we managed to like build a good arc of like what happens to the characters without it being like a full written narrative for an entire season. But I just... Wow, sorry, I'm rambling. I think it worked well with the length that it had for what we wanted out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, because there wasn't some big giant mystery. There was no like, the story was really about these kids and just their like personal emotional journeys, which is a lot easier to like write and perform. Whereas if you're going to do a longer season, then you need all these kind of like plot lines and stories, and they go through, and that's harder to do if we're all kind of got our hands on the ball and it's like, I want to do this conspiracy. Well, I think that's kind of dumb, it doesn't matter. So it's I think it kind of worked for the shorter season.
You think my conspiracy's dumb?
I think it
Dead silence.
I was like,
you leaned toward the mic to be quiet and leaned away.
I was like, I can't do a 9/11 joke. That's what I was like, I can't. All right.
That's the one I meant.
That's the one.
Yeah. Michael's always trying to get us to watch Loose Change. It's a real strain on our friendship. Because the rest of us are more zeitgeist people.
They edited out all my comments in season 2 about those extra 4th and 5th towers that disappeared.
Oh no, okay. All right.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
I was going to say
Yes.
I think it also helped to have like some parameters to play around with too. For me, there were 3 things that I really needed to answer when I was GMing the run. And I think we also have enough of a bit of a tangent sense of story structure that we kind of knew where we were and what we would have to contribute to the story. So like I knew I was the second run, so I was sort of wanting to do something that would establish us as a group of characters more. You had the Quahalia run, you knew that was going to be more of a deep introspective like analysis of our characters, those kinds of things. But the 3 things that really helped me create a framework for GMing was 1, I knew I wanted the run to be a little bit more focused on Esther. 2, what does this crew look like when they don't have their heart playbook?
Yeah.
Which for me set up this beautiful conflict between finding the Soliton, solving the mystery, and getting Flappy back. And 3, why is the quad closed today?
For the new GMs, how does running Slugblaster for the first time compare to other games? What did running it teach you that you'd never noticed as a player?
I guess the people who had never run Slugblaster before would be you two and you, like, because Laena and I have done previous seasons. So this is for you guys.
And the U's in question, Michael, Dave, Liam.
Right.
Yeah.
What other games I've run, huh? It was different than playing it.
Sound bath.
I mean, I can jump in.
Yeah.
I only have experience running Dungeons and Dragons, and I love Dungeons and Dragons. I defend it. I'll play it for hours. I'm pro D&D.
Yeah.
But damn, is Slugblaster much more. It's easier to prep because all you have to do is give them an idea, and then they have all the tools in the world to deal with it. And then your punishment isn't like failure or dangers or whatever aren't predetermined. They're responsive. So like, you don't need to know the AC of a door and what the damage the trap will do when they fail to pick the lock.
Yeah.
You just have to say there's a door. I think back to it was in the post, like the chit chat after the Night of the Tesseracnids, where you, Robyn, pointed out that like all the class have to get to the roof of the gym. And I gave them half a ladder and a door. And it's like, you didn't need to give us a ladder. You didn't even need to give us a door.
Yeah.
You just need to be like, get to the roof, and then they figure it out. So and when you know that ahead of time, your session planning is they in gym, get them to roof, end of document. Like, whereas, D&D, it's much more like you're looking up stats and things. And, so that's what I like about it. I know I've mentioned a couple times, but I GM a game for some other friends, and the preparation takes maybe an hour, and it's all creative. It's all just fun, creative stuff.
You don't need
it's
a
not
book.
crunchy.
Yeah. And getting to write little blurbs, getting to write the description of Hillview, getting to write the, which I do for D&D, but I always do that last, because if I don't get it done, I can BS my way through it, whereas it's almost the most important part of Slugblaster of like, we open on a beautiful day in Hillview. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've dungeon mastered for 30 years. And I will never do a D&D podcast. I will I would never want to run it.
Which is too bad, because there's so few of them. So we could really use some more.
Yeah, that's right.
Market space is begging for it.
But like, I don't mind playing at home and doing these stories there. And like, it's okay if we take our time to like go through the book, sort of. We can have all that. But Slugblaster is just ready to go to just do improvised storytelling now. And then it's very easy. If you give me some weird idea, I can justify it. I'm doing improv. So the stories are just easier to tell, and I don't have to have that mechanical brain on as much. I can just focus on what's interesting and all that kind of stuff. And then make sure I have my little tracks and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, the stuff that was just most easy and fun when GMing was the run setup of like being at the school and characters are talking and you're kind of doing the legwork to do the initial stuff. As soon as we were into the mall, I was just kind of like, oh God, I can only respond environmentally to things. The only quote unquote characters here are mall bots. I don't really, I can't lean back on my safety net of like talk through a thing and do the improv. And I think that's where I ran into a lot of the friction of like, when I'm playing, I'm always going to be a character, and I have a way to like respond with character thoughts and talks. And it's like, oh no, there's mall here, and you got to do the mall will happen. I guess,
but you still found a way to do it. Like Robyn was saying with the romantic comedy, like you still had like you're not responding in character, you're responding in environment.
It's true. Yeah, I think I just found it like more difficult than the other part of like I can dream up Mr. Bob doing jazzercise easy. I can do that, but as soon as I was in the run, I found that more difficult because they're like slightly more mechanic stuff going on. I think. Yeah.
You said the mall will happen, and my brain was like, yes, West Edmonton Mall's tagline, like their slogan, the mall will happen.
The mall will happen.
If you build it, it will mall. From Battle Penguin. Wow, that's a cool name.
Hell yeah, Battle Penguin, shout out.
Do you think rotating the GM led to any particularly cool story beats? Who was the favorite GM? Was there one?
This is a popularity contest.
Yeah.
This is feels
Amongst
like a question
ourselves.
designed to tear our podcast apart. I was very happy to like get to experience everyone's different jamming style because I have stuff that I love about everyone's, like the way everyone runs a game is so different, but everyone has such clear strengths. And so it was just fun to get to experience, like, yeah, there was you just get a variety of different cool GMing styles, and you get to appreciate all of these different ways of approaching this game, and it was a blast. I had such a good time.
Something I really enjoyed was like, yes, interacting with all the different GM styles as Miserée,
Yeah.
but also interacting with the different GM styles as the NPCs. Like when Marla and Tommy May would show up, how have they changed in this contest? Because the NPCs can drive so much story. Like my job as Miserée is just to react and be in character and do what she would do. But my job as Marla and Tommy May is to help tell this story. So how that changed from when I was the GM to when you were the GM, Robyn, to when you were the GM, Dave, was very interesting to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is an interesting, like looking at those NPCs, they're kind of like tools, and like how does everybody use that tool?
Yeah,
like,
you handed me a flashcard being like, here are the key talking points for Tommy May in the finale. And I was like, got it. Okay, I'm playing this character now. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm like holding off on gushing about what I love about everyone's GM style because I think there's a subsequent question maybe that's like, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Do you want me to just read the next one?
Sure.
From Mana, are there any standout things another GM did where you went, oh, that's so cool, I'm going to steal that in the future? Is that what you meant?
I just like, I feel like everyone had such strong ideas for like, I'm just going to start rambling. Liam with Night of the Tesseracnids, and like, I feel like your GM style is so mechanics focused in a way that I'm not as strong at, but I always love playing in your campaigns because you're really good at like designing set pieces, if that, or like encounters.
Or like, how does the mechanics play off of this area?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I feel like I could do a Tesseracnids run, but I wouldn't have the brain to like, okay, and how does that manifest as slams and super slams? Like, it was so elegant and so simple in that way.
Yeah, the stuck system was very cool.
So good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
'Cause I kind of sweated that. I was like slightly worried I had overdone it, but the more I thought, once I got it down to what I liked, I'm like, no, I think this works how it
It
works.
became really neat to have something that was built to specifically like other people can interact with your slams in a more direct way. I thought that was like it opened the door for like, or really encouraged more interaction between characters.
If I can not pat myself on the back or anything, but I really think one of the biggest influences in this, playing at home, playing on the podcast, doing the Dungeons and Dragons live show, Michael and Laena and Dave for a while, and I owe a lot of it to Magic the Gathering because that game is so strategy based and so mechanical, but also I'm trying not to ramble or gush too much. The rules of Magic the Gathering, if you've ever played, are actually pretty straightforward, and then everything is an iteration on those baseline rules. And having played that longer than I played any other game, it influences how I design, even like how I do my job. Like I mail people shoes for a living, and I start sequencing things in order in a way that I'm like, I learned that from Magic. And so, yeah, I recommend anyone, if you don't play Magic the Gathering, learn, because it'll teach you so much about game design once you fully understand the breadth of the game. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I also love, like, Laena, I think one of your biggest strengths in GMing is, like, rooting everything in character and making the story as it plays out relevant to, like, the personal stakes. And so finding that connection for Esther with the Soliton and the Maven, like, that of all of our, like, this is a run for this character, I feel like you nailed that prompt the best in making an Esther run. And like, codifying the mystery as a track was really fun, because I know you were like struggling with like, how do you play out a mystery in Slugblaster in a way that doesn't feel tedious, and that was such an elegant solution to that. That was fantastic.
There was some like fun play on tracks this time around,
Yeah.
because we had like a track that would turn into another track. We had the hidden track that was like revealed as you went. It was like a very like small, like right near the end, but there was like the track where like more like a meter, I suppose, that as you like add to the meter, it gets more dangerous kind of thing. Like, fun ways to play with that.
That's again was once again more eloquent of what I was trying to say of like both you and Dave found a way to take the danger track and recontextualize it and make it interesting in a new way.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I was trying to say that like Magic has helped me do is like, oh, I can see the core, what makes this tick, and now I can break it apart and put it back together again mechanically.
Yeah.
And that's the same sort of thinking that got you guys to either you hiding letters or you revealing letters out of order.
Yeah.
And I think, Michael, your run, like the inciting incident and the hook of your run and getting to like meet this cast of buck wild NPCs was very fun. Like I that might be one of my favorite episodes in this season. Might be my favorite episode of the season is just like hearing us interacting with Wilborth and Grayleen and the run to Chowtown and like that whole and the Mr. Bob bit and just like having so much fun with the extended cast and using that to set up this. And then like I love the way that like pulling ourselves out of the campaign and finding different reasons to do that. I felt like that was one of the more interesting and compelling reasons for like Bubby just not being there and us having to go on this quest to find him. I feel like you use that really effectively to like drive the whole story forward.
Yeah.
And people who know me know that I love a long convoluted thing that gets like really serious at times and really emotional at times, but then all ends on a punchline. I love when a movie ends with like you can hear the like, oh, and this is the blow line, and then we go to credits, and fucking Bubby popping up at the end of that run was like, God damn it, you got me.
Just saying something in Bubby's voice, and then you being like, you're right, Bubby, it'll be okay.
We go on this whole emotional journey, and then it's like, I was just in the bathroom.
I think Robyn, especially giving Robyn the Quahalia run, it really highlights Robyn's ability to like use stories and scenarios to like really bring out a character's like what's the shit that they're going through and like like Robyn's really good at like finding those things and even like taking the interesting approach to Quahalia with like. Because we've been there this is what, the second time we've been there?
Second time, yeah.
And just like you did it different than the first time. And like, and there's like a little mystery because I know as a player, it was fun. I'm like, I know this is about me and my character's journey. But then there's Dave, who loves Lost, is like, okay, but what the fuck is going on here? What the hell is this?
Miserée was never more angry.
Yeah.
In that run, you're good at pushing characters' buttons.
I
What are you guys talking about? It was a great time. Nothing
I
wrong.
feel like I'm usually a twist the knife kind of GM, and I really got to do that.
You really
this time.
did, yeah.
Well, even like Bubby's like.
It was perfect.
It was the same kind of thing, but like Bubby's happy in it. It's the same thing.
He accepts it. He's like, yes, nothing before was real. This is real now, and it's great, actually.
And like, you wouldn't necessarily want to leave that. Like, that's also a great like knife twist, kind of like the other direction.
I expected that reaction, but I expected Esther to have Bubby's reaction, and I expected Bubby to have Esther's reaction, and it was so fun that you guys fully swapped. And in retrospect, it's like, of course, why wouldn't they? Like, Esther is shrewd and Bubby is trusting. Of course, this is how it went. And then Dave, I think you did such a fantastic job of like the unique challenge of having to set up a season that you're going to hand away to other people to do whatever they want with, and then knowing that you are going to get handed back this mess at the end and have to like put a bow on it somehow. And I feel like you just, like, we joked about how, like, oh, we basically did what they did with the Star Wars sequels, and that worked so great for the Star Wars sequels. We even got our J.J. Abrams to come back and do the ending. But, like, you fucking crushed it, and I don't know how, because, like...
Because unlike J.J. Abrams, you know how to say yes and.
Retcon everyone else's runs.
There's a certain set of videos I've been watching lately of people doing, like, Pokemon Nuzlocke, but treating it like a relay. And it's very much like, one person starts off and they get their starter Pokemon and do
like the first gym, trade it off to a different person for each gym, and then they have to come back and beat the Elite Four and be like, what the fuck happened to the team? What, the starter's dead? I don't have... why did we teach this move to this thing? That doesn't make any sense. It's like, very, very much handed that kind of a situation. At this point, I'm not sure what our timeline is like. In the document, I have something labeled "Final Question," but I don't know if we have time to throw to the chat at all.
Are there any questions that were in the chat that we maybe missed, like that have come up in this stream?
The one thing that, like, I've been meaning to like, mention, it was way back when there's been, like, a couple of references, both in the doc and in the chat, about Miserée's Void Daddy. And I do want to mention that at the beginning when we were talking, we did talk a little bit about, like, family units, like, about Jake's dad and about Goby's dad and, like, those types of characters. The only pitch I had, it never came up, and I think that's for the best, was I wanted the Void to be all one voice with all four of you.
Right.
I feel like that would have been a very fun way to play that game, but I also think it's stronger if the Void is not characterized, because it's a Void. Yeah.
Like, we've talked about how, like, oh, you know, it's improv, and part of the beauty is that we do it in one take, but, like, there are times when we wish we could go back and like, retake a scene because we could probably get it stronger on a second go. I can only imagine that would be exponentially more the case if we're also all having to improvise in one voice and try and anticipate what the other, like, those scenes are going to be garbage. It's going to be terrible.
Talking like the family thing again. I think there was almost an early discussion at one point of Mr. Bob kind of being Bubby's guardian, and it just never really happened. I don't know. It just kind of
because episode 1 you dropped out of character and you were like, I think we talked about Mr. Bob being his guardian. I want to drop that. There are Tom and Jerry. Yeah, you did.
Oh,
you did.
Episode
1 you were like,
Tom and
we
Jerry,
can't do this. It has to be a Tom and Jerry.
It has to be a Tom and Jerry. Guys, I'm telling you, it's gotta be a Tom and Jerry.
Really?
It's my vision.
Animation cell. Is it? I don't really have an eye on the chat. Are there any last minute questions?
No, I don't think so.
I haven't seen any questions popping up in the chat. I think we've done a good job.
All right. To the final question we go. From several people. What do you have planned next, if anything?
Yeah, I mean, this is the big the point of this whole episode, right? Is to tease what's coming down the pipeline. Who wants to take it?
Yeah, it's been fun, guys. This is going to be our last.
Let's wrap it up.
Going forward, we will be a Monopoly-only podcast.
Yeah. Ooh. But every season we'll play a different variant. So the first season we're going to be doing Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace Monopoly. And then...
I will still be the hat, though.
Yes.
I am still a hat. So... We've been discussing what we're going to do for this next season, and
because there will be a next season.
There is, yes.
Season 4 is going to happen.
Confirmed.
Yes. And so we are, of course, we had to pick a GM, and we're going to go to a 1 GM thing.
This is going to be the idea is a full length season.
Yes.
So as we talked about earlier, rotating GM works great for the short season. But we're doing a long boy this time.
Yeah. So season 3 was a little bit like, can we do a season?
Yeah.
Let's make it shorter to make sure that we can. And it turns out we can. So now we're gonna fly to the sun.
Yeah.
Probably end up because seasons 1 and 2 were both 36 episodes?
Somewhere
right?
35, 36-ish, yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be more in that ballpark.
Yeah.
And so the GM for season 4 is Michael. No, it's not. I just want to throw him under the bus. It's me. Hello.
Hey.
That's why he's been re-listening to all the old seasons.
Yeah. Because I'm like writing down lore such as that Bruce Springsteen is highly litigious, and I'm like I want to honor that somewhere.
I have no idea where that came up.
Yeah, I think what was it? He sued Chester. I think that's what it was, over the use of like his song, and for some reason we riffed that he also sued somebody else. It doesn't matter.
Oh my
It's
god.
such
God.
a dumb thing. I was like, I want that. But
Can you give us any kind of a tease as to what we can expect in season 4?
yes, because people actually have already had a little taste of it in the finale. We referenced it. The next season is going to involve the XBF, the Extreme Blaster Federation. We're kind of going to be doing a more sports-oriented, sports team kind of story. And for people who are like, I don't like sports, don't worry.
That
Do you
includes
think any of us are
all
sport
of
people?
us. Yeah.
yeah, everybody here. But it's more like it's still going to be the same kind of like teen angst and everything, but it's coming from these people that really, really want to become professional Slugblasters. So,
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of conversation about we had such a blast getting very wacky in season 3 and getting to play with all these new abilities and new playbooks and not playbook, but new the slime form and coming from different dimensions and getting to be a fishman and stuff. And we have had a blast with that, and are also in the way that you do as a performer. As soon as you do one thing, you're like, oh, I kind of miss doing the other thing. And there's been a little bit of yearning for telling those more grounded teen angst stories, and I'm excited to get back to those.
yeah. So I've been spending a bunch of time figuring out how does this league work. Anyways, and you'll find out. We don't have a timeline yet.
No, we don't. We have recorded a session 0.
Yes.
Recording a session 0. We're going to start recording a session 1, but
Yes. That is all to come in the new year. So we will keep you guys updated as to what the timeline is looking like. As always, we want to get some buffer built up so that we don't have to kill ourselves making this show.
I think there is going to be some other stuff hitting the feed, though.
Absolutely, there is. So I think the rest of this year there is a Quantum Chit Chat. The final Quantum Chit Chat for the final run will be going up next week or tomorrow, I guess. Tonight, technically.
oh god, yeah.
and then there's a round of glitches from the final run, and that'll kind of close out 2025. 2026, you can expect if you are a patron, you can hear. This Q&A will go up on the main feed. The patrons will get some player interviews. I've been sitting down for long, deep dive conversations with each one of the players. And less talking about like season 3 and more just diving into like us as performers and our lives and our growing up and stuff and getting a little bit more broad with those. So that will be Patreon content for the near future. And then we also have another fiasco that's going to be hitting the main feed sometime in 2026, in early 2026.
Yes.
It's fun.
It's a hoot. I won't spoil anything about it, but very similar. If you enjoyed the Operablum fiasco, you'll like this one. It's very silly.
It's very silly.
And that will also be available both for patrons and main feed, but we'll have some extras for the patrons. There'll be some glitches. There'll be another set of variant fiasco rules and that sort of thing. So lots of...
I have to.
You got to finish editing this?
Whoopsie!
You got some time. But yeah, so lots of fun stuff hitting both the Patreon and the main feed in 2026. And then hopefully we will have more information very soon as to when you can expect season 4 proper. Is that it? Is that we done?
Are we doing any other season 4 details?
I think that's it for right now.
For
I think
now.
we're keeping the rest under wraps
Okay.
until closer to build the hype.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you all so much for joining us and for
Yeah.
sending in your questions and for listening to the
Y'all
show.
are so wonderful.
Yes,
You
thank you
are.
so much.
The reason we can do this show and the
Yeah.
reason we love to do this show. Genuinely, like part of the conversation about like, can we do a season 3 is like, is there demand for it, and can we like cover our overhead? And thanks to our lovely patrons, we can do that, and we appreciate you so much.
Yeah. Fesman nailed it. That is why you got your new heart, is so that you had the energy to run season 4. You knew it was going to be a doozy.
I came up with the idea and my heart exploded.
Yeah.
And then
And that's when you were put on the wait list.
that's why I'm like, I should have waited.
I should have waited for my heart to explode.
Yeah. That's what Danielle Smith wanted me to do.
Hey.
Hey.
A little Alberta politics
Yeah.
right there.
Really, that might be too local for our listeners.
Alberta deep cut. Yeah. Heifer province sucks anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm very excited though.
I think that's
That's pretty much it.
Shut it off.
Yeah, I'm gonna go shut her down. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Da-da-da.
I couldn't remember how season 3 goes.
Oh,
fuck! Shit!
Audio is still rolling.
How could fuck! How could I forget booty titty?